right, we are back. Welcome back to Pro Bikini News Network. I'm your host, John Algandy, and in today's video, we're going to be recapping the Tampa Pro and previewing this weekend's shows. So, it was an amazing weekend at Tampa. Across all the categories. My teammates were going crazy for the classic physique. Obviously, as a classic physique competitor myself, and even open was really competitive, where it's like you didn't even know who the winner was going to be. It was probably the most unpredictable show because of so many guys. Only not many shows left to qualify even for the open men's, which was obviously the main traction for Tampa almost every year. But even Bikini was really competitive. And I was excited to see the whole show and see everything transpire. And, I'm happy with the results. I'm thinking that it was fair and justified. We're going to recap the top 5 here and talk about why they may have placed. And also they have individual videos. So, credits all go to Gilco Productions for putting on the show. And thank goodness it was a little bit better. But even the photos, I'm just wishing that they just didn't have that, like, in the center of where the Tampa Pro logo was, just like red and orange. It's just, if you just take out that one element, it's good. But the videos and everything looks good. But the photos, it kind of blends. Like I said, I think there's something to work on. They're getting better. As long as you have someone that is good with production, they're getting better with these shows. So we'll go into our first girl who got 5th place, and that was Romina. For her to come back after her passing of her husband and trainer, she brought a really great look at her, and I love her hair. I love the suit. She has done pink in the past, and I think it worked well for her, especially with her tan and her hair and her color. Her hair is dark enough where it didn't look like where she had blonde streaks before. This is a good front pose on her. I think it was pretty well nailed. She's pretty much I just kind of wish she had her hair not covering her front of her delts, but I do think I don't know, she's actually this is actually pretty good spot on. I would say that maybe could twist a bit, but again, this photo's at like a side angle, not like straight on, so this is what we're getting. But this was a good look for her. The makeup, the suit, the glam, everything on her was really good. I'm so used to seeing Romina in like a teal color because I always saw that as like her signature color, but she has done pink before, and this is actually really good on her. I really think that it's from the back where she needed to work with, but when they were going through pose, I will talk about that right now. Okay, go to her back. So this was really good in the back. She's tighter in the back. I just feel like conditioning to her from her tie-ins to below. She just kind of needs to fill out. I just think the suit's great on her. I just think it just needs a little bit more coverage, just so that it doesn't look like she's flat up top. Dots are good. How she's posing is really good. How her feet position is good. It's balanced out to her glutes in her legs very well. Got great calves, by the way. But I definitely think this is a good look for her. I do think it would be better if her hair was just a little like covering, was just had a little more volume, where it was like covering her back connector. But overall, I'm very happy with her look. I'm happy to see her back in the mix, and she's been trying to get back up there. I think she's missed this past year's Olympia, just by trying to qualify later. But I definitely think that with only about 7 shows left in US, she can at least get something, and I'm happy to see what she's doing. And for her to do this is truly amazing. Right, let's talk about our 4th place. We had Kate, and I'm going to go through everyone's videos. Actually, I'm going to go through her video. So share. Let's see, Kate. Here we go. So I love her hair. I love the suit. It does very well. I like the darker suit better on her with the blue. Now this is a good look for her. I do think it's just in her back, she just needs to be a little more tighter, but her front's very well put together. She's very well balanced. Really got a really small waist. But I feel like when I see the girls who are ahead of her, I just feel like she just needed more, density to her glutes. She is younger, so she's still trying to grow that muscle out, but very good look. I love the suit, love the hair, love the makeup. I'm going to get into like just her standalone right now, but I'm just going to go through it again. just to see if I can find anything that's off on her. But I didn't see, this is a really good look. I mean, she had nothing to lose. She's already Olympia qualified. She got qualified back in Chicago Pro. So, I mean, I do think that she's just going to have to continue to be, she's doing a couple more shows and then going for the Olympia. So, I mean, it's great to see and keep getting feedback from the judges and seeing what you can work on and, you know, just to see what you can do just to move up to spots. I do see her as a top competitor. Her tie-ins are good. Her balance from her glutes to tie-ins are really good. This is a very pretty physique on her. But I just feel that the other girls had just a little more. So when you're looking at who is third, fourth, fifth, she had a 1 point difference with third place, Ndeye. So that's one. I feel like if you just kind of see what someone else had in the back, she had, but her front was probably one of the best in the shows. Go to her individual. So I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about right here. So like I said, this is a really solid front post on her. I do think maybe sometimes, I mean, maybe it's just how the photo was taken, but if you saw the video, she's more relaxed. But her balance to where she's her shoulder to her glute is and how she's positioning everything, her shoulder, elbow to glute, that's like what you want to see in bikini, like everything like in line with each other. Delts are good. I do think maybe she could use a little more, but this is pretty solid for her. I do think it's a great look. Beautiful girl, beautiful physique on her. All right, let's go to her back. So the photo, like if you saw the video, it was in person, it was so much better. But I do think that, like I said, I just think she just needs more glute density just to like do well against the girls who were in the top placings of her. I felt like that's something that they had. This is good on her. Just needs a little more. Like the hamstring, the tie, like that's actually really perfect. You're not looking like a ham rope where it's like glute, like one whole thing. You kind of see a great separation of glutes to hamstrings. Very well balanced, very well put together. She's a great poser. Feet position are really good. So I just think that's just something she needs to continue to work on going into the Olympia. So, I mean, to continue to compete, that's great, you know, also to get feedback. But I also think that it's also something to see what you can do and try different peaks and see what's going to work. So, because she'll be one of the first people up because of her last name being C. So, going to the Olympias. And so that's something that she can continue to work on. The hair is good, it covers her back connector very well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what she's going to do. All right. Third, we had Ndeye. I do like the hair and the suit on her. I think it really contrasts very well. I always think it's just how she's doing her front pose on different sides every show. She's trying to see what works for her and what needs to be comfortable for her. Back pose is really good, very solid. I do think it's just in front. She just needs to work a little help on. She just needs to like find ways to adjust that. I did look at her shoes. I don't know, that buckle there kind of is a little distracting. I just stick to like clear straps if she's gonna do straps on her shoes. I mean, this is a really good package from her. So I do think that just needs to be more confident and then in the front pose and be comfortable doing that. So one thing about her is because she's very limb dominant. She's long legs, long arms, short torso, like snatch waist. She just has to find ways to put that all. She has to find a way to like put that all together. I'm gonna show you her pictures because I do see like it. You only see it brief in a moment. So go to her front. I do think that she could just kind of twist a little bit to her just a little bit to the side, but this is really great to balance it out. But I just think that she needs to find a way to like make this like all in line, like shoulder to glutes. But sometimes I'm looking at her shoulders because they are like a bit overpowering. She can just find, she doesn't need to have any more shoulders from it, just needs to find a way to balance that out. She is fixing how she's posing because back, you know, I think a show or two ago her feet were a little too close, but I would kind of just fix his leg so it doesn't like when she's like making this super straight, you can kind of see like it makes her leg look a little harder. see your back. It does feel like she's leaning to her right side. You kind of don't see it as like you saw in the video, like kind of briefly. It feels like she just has to adjust that. I feel like she's to fix how she does her positioning, because it feels like her left leg's going out and her right and her right's going straight. I mean, you kind of see like her legs going straight in her front versus and then this one you kind of like see like if it's, she just has to find a way to like balance this out, because you don't want to be leaning to one side and causing an imbalance. And bikini's all about balance, but this back pose is really solid on her. It's very strong. I mean, amazing glutes. You know, we talk about those long glute insertion genetics. She's got some great genetics. I do think that she just needs to crop her hair a bit. I loved her hair, but I just feel like could be cropped a little bit so it's not on her glutes and it's showing her like snatched little waist. But overall good package. And also new shoes. Recommend Shoe Fairy. Use code J. I'm helping you out, Jordan. So but yeah, very solid from her. I just do think a couple of adjustments, and that's something she's got to work on. I mean, continue with, you know, posing sessions even after training, you know, continue doing that. And I definitely think that she's going to be someone to be looking out for. All right, next up we have Taylor. So I had her in fifth, and she wound up getting second. And people asked me why, because I felt like I just wanted to see what she was going to do in a lineup that she was like this. And she has a great physique. She has a physique that I say that's like attainable. It's not, you're not looking at Taylor and you're like, whoa, what's going on? You look at her and you say, like, that's a physique that looks like people can look like. I think it was very comparable, I would say, to Marie, who took first here. But I do think it's just how she was doing her front was not always consistent. But in the back, she's really good. I mean, the glutes to tie-ins. I mean, I do think she just needs a little more rear delts in the back, just to so it doesn't look like she doesn't have much. I do think a little more rear delts on her could really help out her physique. But in the front's good. It just feels like some parts are just not there for her. And I'll show you what I mean when I just see just her photos. But I'm gonna switch. I also noted one thing when I saw her when I saw her come out for this video. Look at her feet position. So right here, her foot's going straight, and it's kind of like not showing the like glute pop in the front. But then when she comes back around, she's pointing again. You have to make sure that your front pose is the same when you first come out, and then when you do your walk, when you turn around and then walk to back. It's got to be the same thing consistently. So I'll show you again. So then this time she changes the foot positioning, and it's much better on her. So when she comes out, it goes to the front and it kind of like hides it a bit. But when she comes back here, but she finds a way to make that front pose look the same way as she presented it, like she was kind of doing in the like comparisons, it would have really helped her physique out. And I definitely think that she has a pretty underrated physique when we go looking forward. And I do think that she can continue to get better. She is competing in this weekend, so maybe it's going to make some adjustments into going into the show and seeing how well she does. And she's got nothing to lose being already Olympia qualified. So we'll see how that goes. But I'll show you I'll show her individuals. Go here. Yeah, you can kind of, yeah, you can see right here. But, and I did look through. I just think she needs to just fix her front just a little bit. Delta good, makeup's good, suits beautiful on her. I just definitely think that she could just adjust a couple things here and there and just see what she can do in the upcoming show. But great look for him, great package for him. I mean, she hasn't been on stage since I think the fall, so to come back and to, you know, compete and see what we can do versus putting everything in one show is great. You know, that's one thing I was saying bikini is like you always have to like keep up and do things differently and try things out versus just being a one and done. Okay, in her back. Like I said, it was much better in person. And, you know, fortunately, this is how the photos came out. Like I said, the fire background, you know, if they could just fix that one thing, it would make everybody look good. But this is great from her. I just think that she could just use more rear delts in the back. Suits okay. I just do think a little more fabric. But I mean, she's pretty much filled out, pretty much spot on. So I definitely think I think her hair could, cover this much better, cover this back connector much better. But feet position are good, very well balanced. I do think that she doesn't need. I feel like in the front she was just a little. Let me go back to her front. I think in the front, and even with some, I think Lexi Maitland was telling me that her front, she looked a little too conditioned. I do think that she just needs to find a way to fill that out. So maybe she was kind of doing that so she doesn't look, too hard and too conditioned. But I feel like if she just fills that out, it would help her physique. It would help her physique out, and got everything great going for her. Just think that for her, that just needs to adjust a couple things going forward. Going to this next show, hey, we'll see what she can do. If she can fill out and not come out looking as too hard, because from the front, it was like that was kind of how she did her foot position, kind of how conditioned she came. I think that's kind of what knocked her out. But she could have probably won the show, and no one would have been upset with that. But I just think if you kind of look at what the standard is for bikini and the criteria, it's just, you don't want to be coming out too conditioned. You want to be very balanced. You want to be coming out more full. And if she can do that, we'll see what she does. All right. And our last was our winner, which is Marie Eve. So she came in much tighter in her waistline. Very beautiful girl, very well balanced. Very well proportioned to each other. I love the hair, I love the suit, love the makeup. Everything stands out. You're not looking at something and nothing's off on her. I do think that if she can just come a little more tighter in the front, I definitely think it could help her out. But in the back, she's very strong in her back, but full, balanced, glued to hamstrings. Shoulders are good. The hair is good in the back. I just think, no, I'm not looking at, she has her feet pointed a little out, so it doesn't look like her glutes are overpowering. So this is a good call on her. So it's not like if she has her feet pointed straight, it's going to make her look, glute dominant and where it takes away her legs. But I just think she just needs maybe a little more legs, just a little bit, so that it balances out with her glutes, because she has a really great physique. And I definitely think that she can be one of those top girls at the Olympia going forward. All right. Sorry, I had a little thing going on, but where were we? Go back to Marie. So I did mention how I feel like she just needs to work on certain things, just moving forward. And I do think that going into the Olympia, I do see her as a top girl eventually in a couple of years. I do think in top 10, I don't know if it could happen maybe this year. She has a good opportunity to move up. I mean, she did her first Olympia 3 years ago. I think she was somewhere in the middle of the third call out. So, I mean, hey, that Olympia had like 54 girls in it. So I can see her possibly in that 12, 15 range, maybe. I mean, if she comes in with a great peak at the Olympia, I do see that she's going to be one of those girls. And I think she has a really underrated physique. She's from Canada. She's won, now shows. She's won all her shows in the US, and she got third at the Arnold UK, overtaking, I believe, what's her name? Angelica, just second and third to Vanya and Tara Grier. So we'll see how she does. But I wanted to get to her individual photos and just talk about some things there. All right, here we go. So this is how she looks. Honestly, this is really good on her. I really think that this is really soft front pose, how she's showing her S curve very well balanced. Definitely a really great package from Marie Eve. And I definitely looking forward to seeing what she's going to do and progress. She's young and, can continue to get better from here on out. I mean, a lot of what I see in her is a lot of like that one girl who was from Canada many years ago. I forgot her name. She was like top 10 at the Olympia. Really good poser. It's gonna come to me. Justine Monroe. She kind of she makes me think of like Justine Monroe, like kind of like what you see, what she had back then and what she is kind of like now. But got a great look on her, and I definitely think going forward she's gonna continue to with those improvements. It's just continue to grow into that physique and to continue to mature into that. But I honestly think she had probably one of the best back poses that was like very well balanced out of all the competitors, and I definitely think that's what helped elevate her to that first place spot. Like I said, I feel like she could. I mean, she kind of looks like she's bent over, but she's not. It's just the angle of this photo. I just think that her hair is good on her. Everything's good. The balance, how she poses very well. I definitely think that's going to accentuate her and to get her good looks when she goes to the Olympia and doing any other show. If she decides to do any other show going on now, but I'm proud of her. I'm happy to see what she's doing. I'm happy to see, she's winning one of the biggest shows in the whole pro league. So, I mean, people who wind up winning this show do very well at the Olympia, and I'm hoping to see her, continue that with going forward. Hopefully she does get into that top spot, and we'll see how it goes, but I'm very happy for her. All right, so we got 4 shows this weekend, and I know a lot of the competitors in 2 of them. I'm going to probably touch on the Masters Olympia and the Tokyo Pro just very briefly because I only know a few athletes in that. But Texas Pro and Tahoe are probably one of the shows that are going to be very competitive this weekend. But I'm gonna get the live stream for Texas Pro when that goes up from Battle Up Productions, and go through that. I'm gonna take that day off just to focus on that. I definitely think that's probably the most competitive lineup, even with only 14, 15 girls in it, as well as Tahoe. So we have some news to talk about, and before we get forward to this, if you guys did not know, Isa Pecini decided to drop out of the Olympia for the first time in 10 years. I'm gonna talk about that just right here. She did say things about, like, I watched her video and I understand her Portuguese, but she was saying things how that she hadn't had her period in over 2 years and that she's been natural for over 10 months. And, she's been competing since she was 18 years old and, touring pro at 19 years old. And she's been doing the Olympia since 2017 and just nonstop year after year after year. And now she has her own business, her own restaurant. I feel like she's far focused on that. And I feel like before anyone gives her anything, she's young. She's still young in this. And, I don't think that she's done and retired. I definitely think that she's going to come back. She just needs a year off. I mean, there are a lot of girls who just needed just a year off because just nonstop competing. And now she can focus on business. And, obviously that's taken over versus, putting everything into one prep. She was going to do like a 6-month prep because she started in April. And I think back in December, she put her name on the Olympia list and to go for the Olympia. But I felt like, when there was like this past week, everyone was putting in their contracts. And when you get your Olympia contract, you only have 2 weeks to sign it and submit it. Otherwise, you're not in the show. And she was about to submit it, but she said, I can't do it. And she said, if I'm not 100% mentally there, I just don't want to be there. I wish her all the best. I just think that, someone who is this young, and I sometimes think of, Courtney King, and people always ask, why do you talk about Courtney King? I just feel like how young she was and how much pressure and stress it was, even being a Miss Olympia. It's a lot. And you're more than just an athlete on the stage. I definitely think that I'm gonna stop sharing this. I definitely think that you look at different outlets that you can do, not only just on the stage, but what you could do with competing. Even like Olympia champions, even the Miss Olympia for wellness, like has her own gym, she has her own business. It gave her opportunity, gave you different avenues. So, having a plan for the future and definitely what you're going to do is something that you should be looking forward to, when you're done competing. It's like, the next chapter of your life. What are you going to do? I mean, I don't say this is not it for Issa. She said this is not it. She never said anything about retiring. She's just taking a break from the stage. And, we remember 2017 when Courtney retired and did not go defend her title. India Paulina was having a kid. Janet sat out. And then Ashley took that one whole year off. I mean, it was just, it may not feel the same way. I mean, as that Olympia, it may not feel right, but we have 3 girls who are Olympia champions who are in it. Maureen just announced that she's doing the Olympia, so she's in it. So I think that sometimes you just have to take a step back and get your health together and get everything together, and then obviously you branch out, because it's always like you keep saying no to opportunities. You may not get those opportunities back, even when asked to do seminars, travel. Take them while you can, because if you keep saying no and you try to do it when you're done retiring, it's like too little too late. And I think that's something that you can do just as an ambassador for the sport, whether you choose to be in it or not. But that means a lot of things right now. Even with her being out, it now gives someone an opportunity to move up into the top 10. You know, Angelica is top 10. She's, retired now. Issa's out. And then, well, Jordan's going to be in the Texas Pro. So she's still got to qualify. So there's opportunity we can stand here and say who's in, who's out, who's moving out of the top 10. But there's opportunities for girls who placed last year can now make a name for themselves and to move into the top spots and to place at the Olympia in the top 15 spots. So it's an opportunity. I think people can start to go and see what they can do going forward. And, I wish Issa all the best. And I think this is a great business venture. I mean, this is amazing what she's doing with, what she's done in her career path. So we're going to touch up first on the Masters Olympia. So do this. We have 38 competitors here. So obviously our front runner is going to be Jessica Wilson as the defending champion. We did see her, I think she did Pittsburgh and New York this year. So I definitely say that she's, I'd say that she's our front runner to win it. She did win this 2 years ago. She's been an Olympian. She's qualified for the Olympia for the past 5 years. She did get 11th in her first one. And she was 40 years old. So, I mean, the fact that she still looks this great, I think now she's 44, 43 now. And the fact that she's still competing and, it shows her longevity into the sport because she turned pro, I think, in her early 30s, like 10 years ago. And now she's continued to compete and continue to do this at a high level. So I definitely say that she's the girl to beat. And then I would say another girl to look out for would be, what's her name? Janine. She took second here. This was from 2 years ago, but I just saw her do the St. Pete Pro. And I love this look. She looks like a doll. The hair, I mean, she does the curly hair, but I like this hair on her. The pink suit, it works well for her with her skin tone. So we'll see how she does. If she comes in tighter, not too hard, not too conditioned or vascular, I definitely think that she can take the win here. She's got amazing genetics. And I always thought it's hard to do this in bikini, but I don't think it has ever been done. I don't think it's not been done at all, but to win a open pro show and a master show, I think in bikini that's hard to do. But I've seen girls in like figure, physique, bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding, and what else is there? Yeah, I've seen those girls in those divisions with both the open and the masters in the same show. But I don't know if anybody in bikini can do it. But if anybody could, it's probably Janine and Jessica Wilson. It's just very hard to compete in USA with the quality of competitors that we have here. So I definitely say that those are our top two girls right here. Some other notables, Carrion Heinrich, she got third. She's been doing very well. Nicole Guggia, she's done well in both open and master shows. In open, she gets like in the top 10. She's like been fifth place, I think, in some shows. Nicole Johnson's done very well in masters and open shows. So I'd say that she's one of the girls to be looking out for. Noelle Agnew, she's been third in open shows. She's done pretty good as well. Gigi, America, they've won a lot of shows. I mean, I don't I don't cover masters as much because it's hard to go over so many, categories, so many classes in the show. So I'd say that those are some girls we have to look out for. Nina as well. She's done pretty good in open and master shows. Angela as well. I'm trying to see who else I recognize, but yeah, these people have won both have done very well at masters and done well at open. I still think they can be very competitive, but it's just we'll see who shows up and comes out on top. But I'd say most likely our top two girls would be Janine and Jessica, and I'm most likely leaning to between those two to win. I don't know how hard it is. Just whoever shows up best and peaked on point is going to take the win. I mean, that would be cool to see someone, win the show and then go to Olympia for the first time. So then Tokyo, just want to touch up on that briefly. Over 30 girls. There are some of the Masters Olympia competitors going to compete on Sunday, competing on Monday. You know, it's a time zone difference. I'm an East Coast time, so I think they're about 13, 14 hours away. So notables, I would say, would be Sarah Choi, who's been an Olympian, who's been an Olympian. I think she placed back in 2020. So, I mean, she's doing a show. Normally she's like one and done, but she's doing this show because it's close by. So I definitely see that she's most likely one of our front runners to win it. She's got an amazing physique, but I feel like, you know, even with Asian competitors, they're kind of like European competitors. They come in, you know, they're like too small or they come in too conditioned. They have some of the best genetics. And I just wish that they can come here and compete and do very well. I mean, one of the girls, I think Yumi, she comes and competes here because she gets used to the criteria so that she knows what to do and how to apply it from that versus just, you know, waiting for the Olympia. But, you know, I get it, you know, the cost of shows and how expensive it is to travel. Another Alessia's here. She's been doing pretty well. She's been getting like top five, top. She's been getting a lot of top fives lately, so we'll see how she does. I think she was like third in the DC Pro. Elizabeth. She has competed in US. She's gotten like second before. But she's one I would say we have to look out for. I'm trying to remember what she looked like last on stage. I just think she needs to have darker hair because like the red suit with the dark hair looks, you know, with the red suit with the red hair just doesn't help her very much. I just think that she could go for a darker hair so it contrasts better. And then another Olympian who's back on stage for after 3 years, Sally Kato. I think she's the first Japanese girl to go to the Olympia. Got a beautiful, cute, adorable. She's a beautiful, cute, adorable girl. I just think back then she had like her waistline was out, but just seeing her recent updates, she looks much better now. And this is 3 weeks out. It's pretty good for her. She is much more tighter, much more improved. So it's hard for me to pick a winner because I haven't seen enough of them, you know, in shows in the US. So I haven't seen enough of them in the shows. It's hard to cover because it's hard. Like if I see a star athlete or if I see someone who's been at the Olympia before, I could probably pick out some girls. You know, Ashley typically does a show every year, but this year she's not doing it. So we'll see. All right. Should I go? I'm going to go over. Oh, yeah. See how I did with the picks for Tampa. So I got a 73%. I wasn't so off from like top six. I pretty much kind of had top six almost very close. But after like 7th or 10th, that's where I kind of did so bad. You know, Allie didn't place. Marissa didn't place. Jessica I had her 9th. She got 11th. Jess Dolius, I had her 7th. She got 9th. So I was just off by 2 places from them. Romina got right. Ndeye got right. And then Taylor got 2nd. Had her 5th. Jody got 6th. Marie Eve won. Kate got 4th. So yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty solid. I felt like I was almost spot on, and I'm looking forward to seeing Tyler have his videos. But now I have to pick the next couple shows. So I'm probably going to start off with the Texas Pro. So going into Texas. So I was hoping this was going to have like 20 or 30 athletes in it, but there's only 14, but literally a third of these competitors are Olympians. So Kate's here, Taylor's here, Brittany Gillespie's a previous Olympian. She needs to qualify. Jordan's here. She's got to qualify. Jody Younker's here. I mean, we've seen her previously, so I'd say your front runner most likely is Jourdain, who got ninth at this past Olympia. Trying to see her last show. It's gonna take a while. Her last show was the Olympia, so I mean, she's taken a long off season, and she started prep back in May. So I was hoping she was going to do Tampa, but I felt like she wanted to be ready to do a show and to be a girl to win it. So yeah, here we go. So this was at the Olympia finals. The orange suit is fine on her. It's much better than that like coral peach that they did. I prefer her in like the pink or the teal suit. Most likely the pink suit. She can pull that off very well with her hair and her skin tone. I think the only thing for her is like her structure is so amazing. I just feel that I think 2 years ago she came just way too tight. I just feel like she just needs a little more legs to balance out because she has great glutes, great waist, great ratios on her physique. And I definitely see her as like a top, like in a first call out girl. I know why she doesn't do the Arnold. And I think the reason why she chooses not to, she got fifth at the last Arnold she did. I feel like she wants to go into a show as like a contender and be a front runner to win the whole show. So that's why I feel like she takes the time that she needs to go into the offseason versus competing back to back. Like she did win like 5 shows that one year. The one year she was, let's see, 2022. Yeah, that was like the Arnold where she took 5th place. She won 5 shows, but I feel like now in the past couple of years, she just kind of goes into one show and wins it. And because I feel like she wants to, come in at a good peak. I've even told her this, and I've told her coach this, that the only girls ahead of you are a former Miss Olympia. Like even that Arnold Classic, the girls ahead of her are former or current Miss Olympias right now. So that Arnold, it was like Laura Lee, Marine wasn't a champion at the time, Ashley and Issa. And this past Olympia, she took 9th and Issa was ahead of her. So now she has an opportunity to move up. And I think even if she was competing against them, I think if she can overtake one of them, it's good enough to say that she could be a top 5 girl and go for the title. And I don't know why people give her a lot of crap because she says, but she's just a competitor. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying I'm a competitor. I want to be a contender to win a show. I don't want to just be a show. I mean, it's different. I mean, everybody thinks differently, and I don't blame anyone for their differences of opinion, but I definitely think if she's brought that up, she's definitely one to be looking out for. And I definitely think that all the work that she's been doing and what she can bring is going to translate to stage, and we'll see what goes. I do think that most likely she's going to take the show. I mean, unless something is off on her, but I don't ever see her like really that off. But I definitely think she knows how to nail her peak and knows what to work on and what to improve on. And she's been putting in that work. We've been seeing week in and week out. And I definitely think we'll have to look out for her. But yeah. So then I'd say another girl to look out for. So Jessica, she got 11th at this past show. Anna Setlak, she's taken 2nd, 3rd at previous shows. She did well in the Columbia Pro, but I feel like she just needs to find a way just to like not come in too hard or like have her glutes overpower her. Beautiful girl, great structure. I just think she needs to just adjust composing and make sure that her waistline's tight. So I'd say she's another girl to be looking out for. Let's see, Carla. She won the overall at Universe. She's now with a new coach, so I definitely think she was probably one of my favorite bikini physiques from last year that turned pro, and I honestly think that she could qualify for Olympia because she has like the great proportions. She kind of reminds me of like Evie's physique almost. Let me see if I can find her from you. Here we go. I just think she needs to if she can find ways to like get her more comfortable on her front. So yeah, I mean, if she can find a comfortable front pose that works for her, I definitely think that she's going to be one of those top girls. She's got an amazing physique. I just think, she's been working on what she needs to bring up, and I definitely think that she's one to be looking out for. I don't think she'd be one of the girls to. I think she could be a top girl. I don't know if she's like top 2 can win it, but I'd say she could be in that like 4 to like 8 range. Right. Okay. Brittany Gillespie. So she's been right there to qualify. She's been like doing a lot of shows. I definitely think that she's almost there. I just think that she just needs a little more glutes and a little more hamstrings, just a little more upper glute and just hamstring to balance out her physique. But she's got an amazing structure. I do think it can be very comparable to Jourdain, and I definitely think it's going to come down to her and Jourdain for the top 2. But if she comes in with the improvements that she needs, she definitely can get that win. She took second in Colombia. I think she took, was it, what show did she take second in? She was like third. She was like top 2, top 3 in a lot of shows, like top 5s. So Brittany, another girl we have to be looking out for. Let's see, we talked about Kate, Taylor, Brittany, Carla, Anna. We talked about Jody. She's been getting top 6. I just think she's trying to find a way to like nail the good peak because she has such a great physique. Yeah, and she's definitely brought more muscle up and brought more size. I just think that she needs to find a way to fill out from the front because she's like conditioned from front, but then like soft in the back, and you can kind of see it right here. Right. So Jody, another girl we have to be looking out for. And then the Nationals overall winners here doing her pro debut. Masa Rogers. It was funny when we were talking about Nationals. Everybody kept saying the one same thing about her. They're like, I like your hair. I like her hair. I'm like, and I'm asking, does this girl got a good physique? And then they told me, I like hair. Like, I got to say this, Masa, you have beautiful hair. Just saying, everyone wants to know how to get hair like you. But when I'm looking at her, I just think just needs more upper glute, more projection to it. She's shorter. She's shorter, has a shorter torso, so she just have to make her like detail around her stand out. Great physique. Shoulders are good. She doesn't need any more. I just think it's just her glutes in the back need to be very comparable to the top girls. But this is a test to see what she can do against some great girls. I mean, this is a big show. She wants to go for it. We'll just see how it goes. I mean, I could see her in the top spots, but I don't know. I mean, against Olympians and against some of these girls, I'm just going to see how it goes. I don't know where to put her. I could see her possibly in the top 5, maybe, but we'll just have to see how it shows up. And I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do. I mean, this is the pro leagues, you're the Nationals winner, and there's only been 3 Nationals overall winners that got top 10. One of them won the Olympia, and that was Janet. But I definitely want to see what she can do. I mean, I just only saw her briefly in the Nationals, so if she turned pro in December, so now with 8 months, having an off season and then coming in, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, her updates that she's posting is pretty good. All right, next up we have Tahoe. So, I mean, this is crazy what I thought about it. You have a show on a Friday and you have a show on Saturday. So some of these girls, I mean, I don't know why no one's going to do it, but some of them can go instantly from Texas on Friday and then go to Tahoe on Saturday. I mean, a couple years ago, Ashley Kay did that. She was the first ever winner that won the Texas Pro, and then flew to Tahoe, and then did that show. And she took second to the figure Miss Olympia, Aaron Stern. I mean, I've seen girls do one show. Last year, Reina did a show. I think she did RGV, and then she did Mexico the next day. Her husband drove her all the way there. And she won back-to-back weekends. And I think, what's his name? The men's physique guy. Really good physique. He was like top 3, top 4 at the Olympia. Chiron Holden. He won Legion, and then his girlfriend said, "Get in the back of the car. I'm going to drive you all the way to San Diego." So his girlfriend drove him 10 hours from Reno all the way to San Diego, and he won back-to-back weekends. So, I mean, I think the difference between Ashley and other competitors is that she does things people aren't willing to do. And I think, hey, if anyone wanted to do that, they could have. I did see some people in the Masters Olympia obviously doing Japan, but I did think, I don't know if anyone from Tahoe is going to go to Japan. I don't think that's ideal because of the time zone differences and stuff and getting adjusted to that. And you want to obviously look at your best. So I can see why people don't want to do that. But let's get into Tahoe. So I'd say our front runner would be mostly Fatu, Savannah Watchman, Lisa, who's already Olympia qualified. And we have a lot of good, we have your overall Miss USA winner, Emmy, who just turned pro. And Nikki's back. Nikki, here we go. So let's go over them. So Fatu. So she just took third at Los Angeles. She's now working with a new coach. So we'll see how it goes. She definitely just needs to just, like I said, bring up her upper body to match her lower body and just do very well when they do posing comparisons. And posing is very important now more in the past with how competitive, how close these shows are. So if she does that, nails it, I definitely see her taking the win here. Okay, next we have Savannah Watchman. So she's a previous Olympian. She's been moving up, getting, top 5 placings. Let's see, do we have any video? Here we go. I do like the purple suit on her. But yeah, she's one to look out for. I just think she needs to just find a way to fill out her frame and not coming in, too conditioned. Because she does have a lot of muscle on her. Okay. Next up. So then Lisa. And that tiger. Lisa Bikini Fitness, okay. So she took second and third in like a couple US shows last year. I definitely think she wants to get a US win to meet the criteria. But any show that she's in Europe, she's one of the top girls to be looking out for. But she wants to win where she's like, she can win in Europe when she's more muscular. But you have to understand, like, when you're in US, criteria is totally different. They try to keep things in line. They try to go for like the more balanced physique, not in the more well put together physique. So let me see. I think this was the Euro muscle that she was in. Let's find a. Do we have just stage photos? She just has a tendency of coming in too hard, too conditioned, kind of like what you see a lot of European competitors. She's got a great back pose. Just needs to bring up her legs just a little bit and not come in like way too hard and grainy. Okay. So then we have Thalia. She got like top 5 in one show. I think it was DC Pro. So she's definitely one to be looking out for. She is a taller girl. I just think she needs to find a way to fill out her frame better. And just how she does her front pose just needs to be adjusted and just be a little more tighter. Sarah Neuheisel, she's done pretty good in US shows. She got like third or fifth last year in this show in Tahoe. She has competed in US, so kind of just like Lisa, she wants to do well and get used to criteria here, and I like that she's doing that. All right. Let's see. Nikki. So she turned pro this year. She got sixth at the DC Pro and then took what was it? Was it Sandy? Was it Nevada State? Yeah, Nevada State. Just placed outside top 10. She's got a great back pose. I just think if she came better in her front and adjusted her front pose, and if she brought those improvements from back from June to now, I definitely can see her in the top placings. Very, very, very cute girl. Love her hair. Really, really great balanced physique. I definitely think E-class girls this year are probably like the most competitive in all the amateurs, even when they go pro. And then we have Miss USA, Emmy. So I'm happy to see, I'm happy to see new pros go and compete right away versus, taking time off and then going to a season. I think if you are the overall winner, you could go into a pro show right away and do very well. And all you can do is just, get feedback and see what you can do. See anything from the stage? But yeah, I would say that she's one of the girls to be looking out for. I did talk about her in a previous video. And so yeah, those are our shows. If I was to pick Tahoe winner, I would say most likely Fatu and Lisa, but I'd like to see one of these other girls like be in those top spots. So see how it goes. And do some picks. So Texas, I'm going Jourdain. I'm probably going to do a top 10 here. And then Tahoe, I'll do top 6. Go Brittany, Taylor, Kate. Now this is where it gets tough. I have to pick 2 more. I'm gonna say Jody. Go Massa, Carla, and Cynthia, and then Janae. I didn't talk about them because they placed outside top 10. But I definitely think we'll see how it goes here. So I definitely think this top 8, like your first call out, that's going to be very competitive, and it can change either way from like 4 to 8. And so Tahoe, I'll go Fatu, Lisa, Savannah, Emmy, Nikki, Sarah. All right. All right. That's all I have for this week. I'm hopefully going to get one of my episodes finished and uploaded and have that put on probably Thursday or Friday for this week. I can't wait to put more out there. I have a Q&A, so you guys could submit your questions and I'll give you answers. I promise to get that through. I promise to have it uploaded. I'm looking forward to seeing Texas this Friday, going through play-by-play and going around what's happening and talk about the show. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this whole weekend. It's a busy weekend, like nonstop. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's going to be, well, I mean, these last couple of shows just to qualify for the Olympias, it's coming up fast. We're almost like 65 days out. Yeah, 65 days out from the Olympia. It's the 5th right today. So, man, I mean, I'm looking for the whole rest of the season. And yeah, and like I said, I'll see you guys next week. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell me who you guys have winning. Who do you want to see win and go to the Olympia? Let me know. I appreciate you guys. Take care.